So I was mindlessly scrolling on my phone and saw these randomly come up on Nike's app as part of an exclusive, members-only drop. I wasn't actively on the hunt for these, but I am a sucker for an all-over black and red or Bred colorway, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger. And luckily I did, because these things went fast, which is no surprise. Getting straight into it, these come with a standard black Jumpman box with a 23 branded paper on the inside. Other than that, what you see is what you get. A basic box and the sneakers themselves, no extra laces or anything. And taking a look at the sneakers, this pair is done up in an all-over leather in a black and red color. They're deceptive in the sense that they have this tumbled leather, and a lot of people think that just because there's a tumbled leather on here, it's supposed to be of great quality. That isn't always the case. In most instances, it's just some sort of finish, and I think that was the case here. In taking a look and feeling the leather, it looks like it would crease like a cheaper leather, and I actually got my girlfriend Steph a pair in her grade school size and confirmed it doesn't have a sort of natural crease look that you'd find with more premium Air Jordan 1 highs or even recent Nike Dunks. I don't have a problem with creasing on sneakers at all. I actually think sneakers are meant to be worn. I just think it's worth noting because these are a review after all, and the materials on here are just okay. The retail price speaks for itself though, and these have a $115 box price, so you can't really expect the most premium materials. Being an Air Jordan 1 Mid, aside from the slightly shorter height or cut, there are a few small differences between these and traditional Air Jordan 1 High pairs. Up the black nylon tongue is a Jumpman logo at the tongue tag versus a Nike Air one that you'd find on highs of the last few years. Same thing at the standard foam insole, it's a Jumpman logo at the heel, no Nike Air. Some similarities between the mids and highs do exist though, but they're just standard across the board. It's essentially the same sort of wings logoing that you'd find near the ankle, flat laces running up the eye stay, and a rubber midsole and outsole combination. As for sizing, I definitely recommend going to your true size. They're just like my other pairs of highs, mids, and lows, and I find my true 9.5 to be perfect. Moving over to comfort, it's whatever. The leather is stiff at first and will ultimately break in like any other leather shoe. People tend to forget that the Air Jordan 1 is a rudimentary basketball sneaker and isn't meant to be something like a New Balance or an Adidas Boost runner when it comes to comfort. These Jordan 1s are lifestyle everyday shoes that are meant to be worn. And while I wouldn't mind having them on my feet all day, just beware that they aren't the most comfortable things after a while. Overall, with these mids, you get that classic look that won't break the bank if you're lucky to grab them at retail. These are closely inspired by the original Air Jordan 1 Bred or band pair, with the obvious difference being the height as well as the red up the eye stay versus just a flat black all around. Aside from that small detail, it's without question that these are a nice looking set of sneakers. All the blasphemy behind people not liking Air Jordan 1 Mids to me is a bit much. I've mentioned it in previous videos, so I won't go too much into it, but I will say at the end of the day, they're just sneakers. If you're clowning someone else for what they decide to buy and wear, then that's just something you need to figure out. Personally, I think mids are great for the sneaker community. It's a nice entry point for both casual and diehard sneaker fans to intersect and get their hands on something nice, albeit if you could get them for retail again. I mention that because shockingly enough, there is some sort of resale value, not only on this Bred colorway, but many other Air Jordan 1 Mids. Throughout 2020, these things have been flying off shelves, and resellers are actually putting money in their pockets off of these. If you told me a few years ago that mids would resell for something, I'd say you're crazy. But at this point in the 2020s, I'm not surprised as everyone's trying to make a dollar nowadays when it comes to sneakers. As for this band pair, I never really gave it a close look because I have the Chicago Black Toes that dropped in the middle of 2020, and considered that the only pairs of mids that I really needed in my collection and just to know what they're about. At some point though, I do anticipate that I'd let go of these band mids because I have way too much in the collection nowadays, and I actually do prefer the Chicago Black Toe pair to this one. So that's mainly why you aren't seeing an on-foot portion. But I figured I'd throw together a short video because these are a cool sneaker and I know people are actively seeking these out. I'd love to know what you guys think of these band mids. Are they something you'd wear and buy, or are they just something you'd flip? I'd love to have a conversation about it in the comments. Aside from that, it'd be great if you could drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I'm going in on the uploads this year in 2021, so be sure to stick around. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram at StuffDylanLikes for additional sneaker content. That's a wrap for now though, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video.